So that's just my take on that as far as my expert opinion. But we have one last one that I would like to touch. And actually, I like Brother Marco to walk us in this because he actually sent me the article. And when I try to view the article, they try to charge me $1. I wasn't feeling that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't paying no dollar to look at the content. You know what I'm saying? But I did read part of it to understand, and we talked about it as well.
The parking lot of a concert venue became a waiting room for parents while their children were in lockdown on campus a mile away.
So, Brother Marco, this happens in Raleigh, North Carolina. Student getting jumped.
That's where Robin Sinford's child spent most of the school day after the stabbings in the gym at Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School.
Follow up from there, brother. Go and fill us in real quick.
Yeah, so
The new superintendent of Wake County Public Schools says schools should be a safe haven. He's promising transparency in this investigation.
In the aftermath of today's tragedy, we will review all of our safety processes and protocols to determine what happened, what changes may need to be made.
I don't know if y'all heard on Tuesday, a brother tried to, well, let me back it up. In North Carolina, brother man stabbed 2 students. One of them died on the floor. The other one went to the hospital. To bag that up, on the Friday prior, his sister was being jumped. They ran to his house, and he jumped in to save his sister. On Monday, his mother went to school and told the principal that his kids were being jumped and that she thought that they were going to retaliate on the family, that the boy was going to be jumped and maybe the daughter. So on Tuesday, he went to school with a knife. And I don't know if it was in his pocket or either in his pants. I don't know where it fell out, but he did. He got jumped. He stabbed the boy, and the boy passed away, and one was, I guess, brutally stabbed. And he was then charged with murder and sent to juvenile.
All right, now, being that you laid it out for us, it's only right that you go ahead and give us your opinion right off the bat. From a father, of course, and you have kids in high school, so you know how this works. So let me say that a little different. Let me just be as simple as you being a parent in this situation. How does situations like this make you feel when you seen this article?
So when I saw the art, not even the article,
The video.
when I saw the video,
It's a video.
the
Correction.
video. So first off, he was being jumped by like 15, maybe 20 people. When I first started, I was like, oh. And then he got stabbed. And then when he started stabbing the dude, I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, I sided with the boy because there was no administrators there. So that's going back to what we said about the last, I think the first video with the girl, there was no administrator there. There was nobody there. Back in our day, and we're going to keep saying this, back in our day, when a group of African Americans got together and you saw them, you already knew that there was going to be a fight occurring. And me and Sam can attest to this because we grew up in the same area. We knew that somebody was fin to have a fight, let alone maybe getting jumped. So when it started to happen, nobody came to his defense. 15 people, he was being stomped. I am going to side with him. Sorry to say. Prayers out to the kid that passed away and the one who got stabbed. But he defended himself. And the only way he knew possible, and that was to save his life because he had already knew it was coming. His mom said that it was coming. She warned him it was coming. And, it was either him or, somebody else. And he did what he had to do. I know that social media is going to get behind him because they're going to say, well, he was charged with murder, but he was defending himself. And that's my take. That's my take on it. But my biggest opinion, he was defending himself, and it was either he was going to die or somebody else was going to die. And I hate that he had a knife in school. Better yet, I hope he didn't have a gun because there were a lot more people that passed away.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Than that, and in my head because it was one or two, than that. But that's really just all I have to say about it. I'm not going to dwell on it because somebody did pass away, and that's really just my take.
Brother White, what you got for us?
So you know, just saying that is sad. First of all, you know, it's sad. And, you know, that's what our kids are dealing with at school. Before I knew all the background, before the professor gave me the full synopsis, you know, the full
One second, one
detail.
second, one second, one second. It's the doctor, man. It's the doctor. The doctor.
Excuse me, professor, doctor. Sorry about that, doctor.
It's all good.
Doctor, sir. But before he gave me the rundown, I really sided with the young man. All I seen was, you know, him getting jumped in the gymnasium. You know, somebody stomping on his head, so you know, he reached up and got the stabbing. So I really sided with him at first. I didn't know the sister, you know, the rundown the day before that. So that gives you know a little further time, you know, not time, but details into that. Sad it had to happen. I'm still kind of sad, kind of siding with the young man because it was self-defense, sir. But they can kind of say it's premeditated because you know he thought about that. He brought the weapon to school, so that they can really get him for that. But again, I'm still siding with the young man. Again, it's sad. It's sad we even got to see that in the first place. Sad it happened, but he protected himself any way he knew possible. Again, it's sad that we lost another young fellow man that could have grew up to be somebody in life. Sad his life was taken short because of an altercation that could have been resolved, you know, easily. Like it could have been squashed. Like it could have been squashed, bro. We can just say that. But that's just my take.
Sam, I need the follow up now. What's your opinion? What's going on in Southeast Raleigh High School?
So, I'm a let's take it to the point of taking out the what do you call it? Basically remove my opinion from it, right? I'm gonna go based off of the information that I've received because I hadn't heard about this story yet. So basically there was someone who got jumped. He told his mom went to school didn't handle it, so the person that got jumped decided to handle it himself with a weapon of choice, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, but you got to just the backwards. The sister got jumped correctly. Yep, and then the brother helped the sister, and then the 15 retaliated against the brother and the sister, but they got to the brother first. Apparently, the story had to go. So that's
okay.
That's all.
So to remove all of that in itself, as a parent, you're trying to protect your child. Going to the school and telling them that XYZ happened. In reality, these schools do not care about our children, and that's just facts. It's facts, right? And we can put it in multiple ways. If they cared, then half of that goes down in schools and outside of school, right outside of the school, because there was another incident where a little boy got into the coma right outside the school with a jumping situation. So if they cared, a lot of this stuff would not be happening. As a parent, I'm going to put this back on the parent. And the reason being is because you knew what was going on. Your daughter had already been jumped. Now your son is involved. So both your kids are involved in situations at school that have become real ugly to the point where just jumping somebody can get you killed. I know. I used to be involved in situations like this back in our hood. Okay,
you sound like a problem. So listen, now Miss Sam, you sound like you was acting up out there now. Now you beating up principals, getting into it with sister principals. Now you say you jumping people. All right, we gotta go back to these videos. Now I'm just saying it's fine.
So, they could have been killed during those incidences, right? And you as a parent, in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna take you out of this situation. If I have to remove you from the school or keep you home for so many days until I can get the real authorities involved, which is the police, because technically she could have filed a police report against the people who jumped her children. And this probably wouldn't have went down at all if she had involved the proper authorities. The school is just that. They're the school. There's not a lot they can do, which is why they have to resort to outside resources such as police or the so-called officers that they have in the school during the day that aren't real police officers, but security, etc., depending on the area that you're in. But the mom, I'm not going to blame that person, but she should have taken a couple extra steps when you already know the situation that happened prior to, and you knew it was going to happen again, take it to the next step, which is the authorities. Because in reality, the school couldn't do anything. They can tell them to stay away from each other. They can put them in different classes, but you're still in the same area. You're going to see these people regardless of where you place them, etc. They're still going to see each other. And if the aggression against each other was there, it wasn't going away anytime soon. Especially when you feel like you didn't get your point across or you didn't win, and they want to make sure that they handle business the next time and they win, it's just going to be a continuing thing. So the fact that he brought the weapon, as Mr. White stated, it was premeditated. He didn't use his hands to fight. He didn't use his feet in retaliation. He literally thought about it. I'm going to protect me. It wasn't self-defense at that time. You didn't protect yourself with the same thing. What did I say? You use one thing, I get to use the same thing against you? No. They was using their fists and their hands. Not any other person had a weapon, to my knowledge, based off of the story that you just gave me. So yes, it was premeditated. Instead of him going to the police, him and his mother going to the police saying, hey, we got jumped by these people. We need some help. How can we get them arrested, or whatever the case may be, to handle the situation, or withdraw your children from this school to put them into a different environment to where they don't have to be around that.
So wait before you say something, X. They did go. I think the principal. I'm just gonna say I think the article did say on Monday that they did go to. They did have the police involved on Monday. So if they talked to the principal and the police on Monday, this happened on Tuesday following them making the report on Monday. So, and then remember, he fought with one kid. He started fighting with one kid before he started getting jumped, and he tried to run. They chased him down. So that I'm just clarifying it.
So okay, so even with that information, right? You know this situation is a heated situation. You the parent. You know it's gotten out of hand, out of your control. And if the police were involved, Tuesday is not handled. If you're talking to them on Monday, you know for a fact that it's not handled that damn quick. Nothing in life is handled that quick. So why put your children in the position to be where he was, having to defend himself again a day later? I'm still leaning on the authority figures in this situation. You as an adult have to make that decision. Like, should I send my child back to school and risk me losing not just him, but other kids? Like that your mentality has to be there. Like, you have to be the adult in this situation. Like, you allowed your child to be put in this position. My kid, when she came to me one time saying, hey mom, I'm being bullied by somebody, I went up to that school. I said, who is this person? I said, let me find out that they putting their hands on my child again. I'm giving them the right to whoop that, you know what, period. Don't put your hands on my child. Now, did they have a conversation with that child? And because that child evidently had altercations with other children too. So I don't know if the other parents went up to the school, but I know me. I'm giving my child the right to defend themselves if it happens and I'm not able to be there. But I'm going to go and try to correct the situation prior to any craziness happening. But in this situation, it got physical, like real physical altercation. You knew this the day before. Why send your child to school the next day while things are still wired up? You don't calm down that quick, and the police is not going to handle that situation that quick either. So I understand he was defending himself, but you took a weapon to school that you knew could kill somebody. So your mentality was, okay, well, it's me or them. And if I have to kill somebody to keep myself safe, he's getting the consequences that come with that.
I'm gonna hold you for last on this one, Miss Sam, because the question I want to ask, I feel like listening to you kind of answered it, so I don't want to really ask you twice because it kind of come off like I wasn't paying attention. So I want to ask the brothers in this case, and then you can piggyback if you feel like you want to add something on top of this. So I'm gonna start with Brother White because you did bring up premeditation in this, and this I think that honestly I'm glad you said that because it's something that I didn't really think about at the time. But even with that being stated, when we look at this situation from what we all know currently, what we discuss, who do we really blame? Is it the parents, the students, or do you fault the school and the parents in this situation? Brother White.
You can't fault the students and the parents without not. Excuse me. You can't fault the parents and the school without faulting the students too as well.
No. Hold on. Wait. I'm gonna tell you why I say this. I'm gonna tell you why I say this. Because remember one thing, right? And this is why I said I hold Miss Sam for last, because she kind of went over this already. One thing about this situation that when we think about it, this stuff starts at home. Our kids shouldn't be going to school trying to look to jump a person or get into violent activities, especially you piggybacking off somebody else like your friend, or you trying to be in the gang or be cool. That's not really where it's at. Now, I say this because now I'm gonna go back to what Brother Marco saying, because I try to be attentive as possible. If the police already got involved and they know what's going on, the school usually makes certain measures for this shouldn't happen. Because it's a lot of times where I went to school and you heard through the grapevine this was happening. You know what popped up the next day? Metal detectors. Because they knew that if it was going to be a retaliation, they were not going to let this happen. So this is why I brought the question up, who do we look at as far as blame in this situation? Because both of them do play kind of a critical part. So that's why I want you guys' opinion on it. Brother White?
Oh, my fault. So we can kind of share I don't want to say share the blame, but we can kind of put it 50-50, bro. Like, to be, I don't want to sound like Crip Mac because it's not 55th Street over here, but it's 50-50, bro. Like, so you can put 50% in the parents' hand, because like you're saying, it does start at home, bro. At the end of the day, it's always going to start at home. Like Miss Sam said, the child should have stayed at home in the first place, especially your daughter just got jumped. He should have stayed at home the next day. Let's be realistic. Excuse me. Sister.
I'm following you.
He should have stayed home though. The young man should have stayed at home. Mother should have made an executive decision to say, all right, this happened yesterday. You're not going to school today. Boom. Cool out. Chill out. That does that right there. Then the school, if we find out that the police are already been involved, the school should have took matters too, because like you're saying, bro, that happened in my school, bro. We had a big brawl at the school, bro. The next day they had metal detectors. The next day they had metal detectors, bro. The next day they had metal detectors at all entrances, bro. At all of them, bro. They only brought the metal detectors out for the basketball games, bro. Regularly, bro. That's the only reason why they used to bring out the metal detectors. When that happened, bro, we had them every day, bro. Every single day. I remember I used to work at the grocery store, so I used to always have a box cutter in my book bag, because I worked right after class. They snatched that shit with the quickness. They was like, can't have it. I was like, bro, I work at the grocery store. Like, I need that. I need that. I stock boxes, bro. I need that. But,
well, that makes sense. What doctor? We need that. We need that prognosis, man. What you feel like? Who you think blame is? Is it the school, the teacher, all that above? Let's hear it.
So we talked about this. Everybody's to blame. Every single one of them. Everybody's to blame. And we talked about it because of the fact that he was just jumped. She was jumped. The mother knew about it. The kids knew about it. Even he knew about it. They brought him in on Monday. The police knew about it. The principal knew about it. It was on, just like Sam said about it. It was on the mother to say, hey, well, I already told you about it. Let me not take my kids to school, or let me take my kids out of school, because it's not going to die down. Even though, like, me and you talked about it for like 30, 40 minutes.
Fact.
We know it's going to be hit. They're going to say, hey, we're going to retaliate regardless. Even if it didn't come to the school, they're going to bring it to your house. But if they going to bring it to your house, you have reason to retaliate then, and have more reasons to call the police then. The police can handle it more then than they would at the school.
That's correct.
Because if they can't get to you at the school, they can definitely get to you at your house, wherever the case may be. So it was on you to do whatever your best decision was to protect your child and the other kids. But if the principal or superintendent, whoever was in charge of protecting them children at that school couldn't do it, it was on them. And we said it too then. Why didn't they have metal detectors there on Tuesday?
We sure did.
And they should have. And we said it. Me and Miss Smith even talked about it. the next day, because at our schools they had metal detectors. The next day they should have had metal detectors. So I agree with you, White. Everywhere they should have. He should have never had been able to have a knife in his backpack, pants, shirt, coat, whatever, because that red jacket fell off him as soon as he started fighting and they jumped him. So it's on everybody. I blame every single person. And when he started getting jumped and nobody tried to stop or help him, everybody and everybody around him, when he started stabbing, every kid that had a phone on them who was recording and let it should be charged with accessory.